Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for hanging out with me for a Try It Tuesday process video. Today I'm going to be working in my Super Sweet Norah album, and I'm going to be telling a story about, see if you can guess, and if you want to see what it is going to be about, then stick around. Hey friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Happy Tuesday and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hello and welcome. My name's Jen. I am a planner and scrapbooker and storyteller, and I just love my new scrappy journey thus far, and I'm working in my Storyline Chapters album to back tell stories about Norah's origins and her early years and themes in her life. And so this week I am going to be telling a story over these 2 pages about our love of Michigan State sports. My husband comes from Michigan and his family all still live there. And college sports are just kind of a big deal in our home. I didn't grow up being into college sports or anything like that, but clearly my husband did. Both of his parents went to Michigan State, and in their home they have a green room, which is full of lots of greens, some Red Wings decor, a few Lions things mixed in, but mostly it's a green and white room. And these are just photos throughout the past few years of Norah in her Michigan State gear. We don't have anything super recent, but I wanted to still document that football season and basketball season and just college sports and following Michigan State is something that is a part of our family, whether Norah and I always want to sit down and watch it or not. Sometimes we would rather do other things, but it's definitely on in the background for sure. And my husband follows sports, not just college sports, but all the sports. Anyhow, today I am going to embellish these pages. I don't have a ton of journaling because these are just random photos from throughout the years, but I still wanted to have this be a part of the album because it is a part of our life. And so I have these die cut alphas from Ranger and Tim Holtz and Sizzix, and I thought they kind of looked like they would be good for spelling out go green, go white. And so I'm gonna do go green, go white. I think I might do it like this, like go green, go white. I'm not really sure. And so I have those letters already picked out. I have some embellishments from Ali Edwards that I thought might work. I have a couple of these wooden #1 fingers that you always see at like games. These are from an American Crafts pack of wooden ephemera. And I had some word sentiments that I thought, I don't know if they're gonna go or not, but I liked the black. If not, I am going to use some elements like these, like Ali Edwards word phrase stickers. So I am going to speed up the camera, do a voiceover, and probably get started. Oh, before I do, I also pre-drew this like Sparty. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. And this S for Michigan State. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these, but this is the closest color green I had. And then it's from a Vicky Bouton pack. And then yeah, if I'm gonna go see if I have any other greens, and if not, I'm gonna use the same paper to cut out the words, and I'm gonna get going. So let's go. So I did find some darker green paper. It came in a big paper pack I got at Hobby Lobby a while back, and I hardly ever use my cardstock, so it was nice to actually use some of my stash. I knew I bought this paper so many years ago for just this reason, not said every scrapbooker ever. Anyways, I'm die cutting out the letters, and I super love the skinny like outlined version of the letters, and I actually decide, oh, I'm going to use that to spell go white because it's going to show more white and it gives the whole spread a little bit of a different effect. So I was actually really happy about the, like the different sizes. And so I am going to roll out the letters for go green, and then I realized, oh, I didn't need another N. Like, what was I thinking? But that's okay. So no worries. We're just going to keep moving on. And then I'm going to spell out go white on this other piece. It's so satisfying. And that little piercing tool is such a gem. It came with this kit of accessories by Ranger for your die cut machine. It's just so handy for poking out the little teeny tiny delicate pieces of cardstock that you die cut, because they stay stuck to the die, so you have to be really careful. They're so fragile. Oh my goodness. I thought for sure I was going to rip some of them, and so I had them out to the side, like over to the side off camera, in case I needed to cut some more, but I ended up not needing to, which is shocking to me, actually. But here we go. I really honestly had no idea what I wanted to do with this spread other than put all these pictures in this album. And so it made sense for me to have the go green at the top and then go white at the bottom, which is when you go to like any type of Michigan State game, that's what they yell. Or even like, gosh, where were we? Cedar Point, and we saw some State fans, and somebody will yell like go green, and then the appropriate response as a Spartan fan would be go white. So I super love the way that it looks, the two different alpha components. And then I'm just going to go through and pick through like the embellishments that I already pulled. I realized that chipboard piece just doesn't really quite fit. Something I do end up doing off camera and after I take photos is I just wrote the dates on a little piece of scrap cardstock and taped them to each photo just to have the dates on each one, but it's not a big deal. It doesn't change the way it looks very much. But I just thought I'd just close that here in case you come back for a flip through and you're like, wait a minute, we don't remember seeing that part. So I have my scrapbook.com craft glue. It's awesome. I love it. It's called Smart Craft Glue. It dries clear and it remains tacky. So it's just awesome. Like, it works amazing. And I use it for these letters, but then for the go white, I'm going to switch the adhesive that I'm using. You'll see that in just a second. I think I end up doing the rest of the gluing off camera. Like, I had to go do something and I realized like, this is not very interesting. So I'm going to glue the rest of these letters off camera. Spare you guys the details. Or maybe I do that with no, you know what? I think I do that with the go white letters. So right now it's just a matter of like kind of figuring out what's going to go where. I obviously am not a perfectionist when it comes to this, because I would have like measured out the spacing and like made sure that I had pre-drawn lines so that the letters were all lined up. I didn't do that. I just kind of eyeballed it. And then I decided, you know what? I think this photo would look better matted with green. So I take the green paper that I originally had pulled and I use it for 2 of the photos. So I'm just going to, again, see, I'm just fussy cutting around the photo. I'm not even using a paper trimmer here. Because for me, the idea about all of this is to like tell the story, is not necessarily have it be perfect. And then I put this chipboard piece there that says cheering you on, which I think is so perfect. Look at how little Norah was. I had all this schmutz all over the place. So I think like a lot of the adhesive kind of got stuck in parts. So I had to take an eraser off camera and get some of it off. I use like a white plastic eraser from Tombow. They're the best. And then I grabbed this black and white polka dot paper that I had in my stash from American Crafts. I had it on hand when I used to use paper in my planners, but I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's kind of neutral. Sort of reminds me of a cow in a way, but it actually sort of fits because where my husband is from in Michigan is very much cow country. So it all kind of ties together. I just wanted something that was more neutral and to bring in some black. And so then I'm using the darker green to matte this photo. That's the heart shape. And then I'm going to use, you'll see, I wanted it to all fit on one side, but it didn't. So I just snipped it and then I eyeballed it again and just made it kind of be over the 2 pages of the paper, which is fine. I'm going to end up covering it up a little bit anyway with a photo. So here I go, matting this picture of Norah wearing her dad's hat, which is so funny. She's so little. Our house looks so different now. It's funny to look back at these, and I'm sure in a few years it'll look different again. So I'm playing around with spacing and trying to figure out like how far apart do I want them to be? How wide do I want the matting to be behind the photo? Like I didn't want it to really take away from the photo. That's why it's so thin. It's probably like 1/8 of an inch, if I had to guess, around the picture. Okay, so I realized smart glue, not gonna work. It's a little bit too thick. So I am using one of my favorite glue pens ever. It's the Zig Memory System 2-way glue. Squeeze and roll. So you just kind of squeeze it and then it comes out on this little tiny silver ball. And it's just awesome. It's very tacky. It dries clear. It's the best. So that's what I'm going to use to adhere the letters for Go White. I just kind of wanted to put the G in place to give myself an idea of how far up I want the photos, and I realized that the picture of Norah with her dad's hat is too close to the seam, so I move it over. Fortunately, the Tombow Mono dot adhesive is really easy to like pick something up and put it back down, and then it's really great for staying tacky and, you know, keeping your paper where you want it. So I really love that medium for my double-sided tape. And then, yeah, this is where I think I have to go and do something, and then I come back. So I figured you guys didn't really need to be bored out of your mind watching me do this. And then a little bit too late, I realized I should use my silicone mat because I'm getting glue all over the table, which isn't like a huge deal because this is a super, 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 super old desk, and it's, you know, dirty and it's kind of, yeah, it's janky. So I don't know why I care that much, but I guess just for cleanup purposes, it's definitely easier to clean off my silicone mat than this cutting board I have from American Crafts. So I take these number 1 fingers, hands, whatever, and kind of place them where I think I want them to go with the tape. Good thing I use a double-sided tape because I end up switching the one on the top. And I have these little asterisks that are the perfect green, shades of green for the photos. So I just kind of pop them on spaces where I feel like, you know, could use a little something extra. And then I really want to make this pre-drawn like Sparty work on the bottom right, but it's too big. So I kind of put it down and I'm like, I'll deal with it later. So now I'm just going to pick some sentiments from this sticker sheet from Ali Edwards to just add a little something to each of the photos. One says life right now. One says in this very moment. That one says current mood. And then the other one says around here. Because it was just a normal day and Norah just decided to come out with like her Michigan State bow and shirt on, which was so cute. And then I decided to bring in some puffy hearts, and they're all from various Paper Person collections. But I knew I had different shades of green and I knew I had some white, so it was perfect. I just added one to each of the photos, and yeah, I love that there are different shades and that it works perfectly with the asterisks. Like it just all coordinates so well. I love it when a plan comes together. Just kidding, I had no real plan. Just winging it, that's what's happening. So now I'm like, okay, this Sparty is too big. I need to make it smaller. So I'm just gonna have to redraw it. So here I am just freehand drawing with my Faber-Castell paint, what is it called? A Pitt pen? I don't even know. Pitt Artist Pen. And it's just a broad tip. It's like I'm pulling it right now, 1.5. So it's pretty broad. And I just freehand drew Sparty, and I'm going to make it work. I'm just going to lift up part of the exclamation point in order to kind of squeeze Sparty's head in so that it fits. I was going to leave it in this, in like a rectangle shape, but I thought it looked too, I don't know, too boxy given all the photos. So I end up fussy cutting around it and then taping it to the paper. Okay, we're almost done. So I'm just going to tape that number 1 hand there. I actually moved it up next to Norah, and then I realized I didn't like how close, like they looked like they were in a line, and I didn't like that. And so I decide later on to move the 1 hand, and you'll see that in a minute. But I end up looking for a label and realizing I don't have one that fits that size, that space there. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of journaling. And so I end up going through my planner stickers. I have a ton of box stickers. That's what they're called, like in the planning world, I guess. In the scrappy world, they're called label stickers, but it even has some light lines for journaling. It's from Mojo Jojo Plans. I'm just going to finish journaling. I'm going to move around the number one, and I'm going to add the chipboard piece from an Allie Edwards Delight Story Kit that just says happy heart because it's perfect, and it is a happy heart of Norah inside the shape of a heart with a heart Michigan State design in the middle. Perf. Once I put the chipboard where I want it and switch out the place of the number one finger, that's going to be it for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do me a favor and give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, friends. Remember that you are enough, and I love you guys. Bye.